Yo, it's your boy Duxlet, and today I'm going to be ranking every single Halo ever made in existence. My favorite franchise since I was a baby boy. I'm going to be ranking them how I think that they should be ranked, and I'm going to be doing it by my opinion, bro. I'm going to be doing it by how I think it should be. We should dive deep a little bit into this, you know what I'm saying? The first Halo game we're going to start off with is Halo CE, bro. We're going to start off with Halo CE, the beginning of Halo, bro. Let's think about this for a second. The campaign was pretty baller, bro. It was really hard if you played it on Legendary. It was pretty good. This was our first introduction of the Covenant, like the Grunts and Jackals and Elites. We didn't go too in depth, but they were still fun to fight. The introduction of the ring world was pretty cool though. Having a world made of a ring, and it's just a destructive weapon that could destroy the entire galaxy, that's pretty cool. It's the introduction to Halo. So I think that, I mean, it could go in S tier. If you were to play multiplayer in Halo though, like right now in MCC, you might get messed up. Spawning in that game is kind of bad. Like if you were to play multiplayer in Halo CE right now, like online, it would kind of be hard. Not every game, but most games I encounter in Halo CE, I'm getting messed up. It might be a skill issue or whatever, but if you were to play with this on with like the old school, like LAN or split screen, this game is S tier, bro. S tier. The Needler sucks in this game though. In Halo CE, the Needler sucks. I don't know. I like something about the pistol being a little mini sniper rifle before they added the battle rifle. I'm putting Halo CE in S tier. I don't care. I like the art style of oversaturated armor and everything. I like the art style. I don't care what anybody gotta say. And you can't even argue that Master Chief, bro, the beginning of his journey here, bro. We woke him up when we needed him in Halo CE, and he became legendary. But you can say that the Halo CE physics are kind of silly, how floaty they are when you jump around. You kind of like float in the air, like anti-gravity was turned on or something, so kind of crazy. And if a car gets too close to you, say goodbye, bro. If that thing moves an inch to you, bro, you're dead. Rocket launchers, at the blast radius, you're dead. One thing I forgot to add is that the introduction of Sergeant Johnson, the introduction of the Flood, and the introduction of 343 Guilty Spark, and the introduction of the Xbox itself was on Halo CE. So that's why I think it should be in the S tier. Halo 2. Halo 2 is my least favorite Halo to play on multiplayer on the MCC because I get dogged on. When I grew up with Halo 2, I accidentally got that donut ring on Halo 2, so I didn't really get to experience the online until Halo 3. But the campaign was baller. This is when they introduced the Arbiter, and Master Chief was, getting rewarded, and the Arbiter was getting freaking lynched or whatever, dog. He was getting hurt. He was getting beaten down in that one first mission when you come back from home. The campaign was baller. You get to play as the Arbiter and Master Chief. The battle rifle is introduced. Assault rifle is gone. That's what kind of hurts me a little bit. But the SMG was introduced to replace it. The energy sword was introduced in this game too. Halo 2's energy sword is my favorite art style. The nitpicks of Halo 2 I have is just multiplayer is hard for me. Halo CE and Halo 2 multiplayer is hard. I'm a little bit better in Halo CE. I can actually get cracked in Halo CE if I'm in the zone. Oops. But Halo 2, I just cannot. I love Halo 2, but I just cannot. So I'm going to put Halo 2. No, but there was that midnight launch, and this was when they introduced Xbox Live. Xbox Live was introduced in Halo 2. I have to put it in S. Halo CE was the introduction to Halo, and Halo's 2 revolutionized online gaming, I feel like. It was a stepping stone to online gaming. Halo 2 was. And Halo also added playable elites, where you could play as an elite in multiplayer, which was sick, bro. All because you could play as Arbiter in the campaign. And then because of Arbiter in the campaign, we got to see the Prophets and the Heretics, introduction of Tartarus. The Gravemind was introduced and became the main antagonist through the entire game, which caused, or did not cause, but there was a civil war in the High Charity. Sergeant Johnson brought the Arbiter together with him. They teamed up, which then later led to Halo 3 elites becoming allies. We became allies in Halo 2, and in Halo 3 it continued. It was pretty cool. The only thing I hate about Halo 2 is Legendary Campaign. It's so hard. It's not even fun. I mean, it's a challenge, but it's not fun for me. And multiplayer, I just struggle with it a lot. There's cheat codes in multiplayer, bro. And there's hiding spots in multiplayer. I can't do it, bro. It's just too much. Oh yeah, and dual wielding was added to the game. But I think that's it for Halo 2. But now we're gonna get to Halo 3. Dude, I have all these games at like S tier because of like their impact. These are just the beginning games. These all the three trilogy are all gonna be S tiers. All right, Halo 3, my favorite Halo. But Halo 3 was the best Halo experience. It was balanced. There was no cheat codes like Halo 2, bro. There was just a balancing thing about Halo 3. Like you could get dogged on in Halo 3, but there was a balancing to it that felt like it was fair. If you didn't get the power weapons in Halo 3, you could like get messed up. Halo 2, like the power weapons are good. Halo CE's power weapons are overpowered. Halo 3 introduced the gravity hammer. That was a pretty cool thing. Griff Ball became a thing. This is when Red vs. Blue. Oh yeah, Red vs. Blue was impacting, but this was like my favorite part. Red vs. Blue was hitting hard with season 6 through 10, bro. The Red vs. Blue was doing good in this spot. We all know that it's gonna be an S tier. The multiplayer was phenomenal. They added Forge mode, bro. They added theater mode, bro. That's when machinimas started becoming a bigger thing. Like machinimas were actually able to do without using like other stuff, like how Halo CE and Halo 2 you had to go into like a free cam mode or whatever. So Halo 3 introduced creativity, bro. Bungie was balling it, and there's like so many multiplayer maps in Halo 3. So many multiplayer maps. Like I swear, I think Halo 3 has the most multiplayer maps of all time, and I feel like everybody knows them. Even if they're DLC maps, everybody knows the Halo 3 maps, bro. Everything was baller about Halo 3. The customization, the armor unlocking, Vidmaster, bro. Vidmaster, bro. Do you not know what Vidmaster is? They got rid of that in Halo 4, bro. Or a Halo Reach, I think. I feel like Halo Reach had it. Yeah, Halo 3 is S tier. I'm sorry I'm rambling along. You guys are here for the rambles, okay? And because Forge was added, there was a lot of maps that were orientated around Forge, like Sandbox, Standoff, Foundry. There was a lot of like flat plane maps that you could actually like build something in, and game modes were customizable. Like you could make your own customizable infection game mode, which was pretty sick. File share was added. You can make a cool picture or a cool game mode through the file share system. You can make a little movie through the file share system. Playable elites were still in the game. Dual wielding was still in the game. Power-ups were a big deal. Regenerator, EMP, the blinder, all these weapons. And there was mounted turrets that were added into the game, like the plasma turret and the torpedo turret. You can't lie to me, bro. The elephant was added into Sand Trap, bro. Armor customization was peak, where you could unlock armor through achievements and playing the game by like ranking up. You could just unlock armor through just playing the game, not through microtransactions like we have now. It was peak, bro. And the conclusion of the game, where Arbiter gets to actually slash the Prophet of Regret in half, bro. We get the whole dying Sergeant Johnson's hand while he dies with a bang, bro. He goes out with a bang. We find Cortana from after Halo 2, bro. Everything just circles back, bro. Everything is ready. We destroy the grave mine and we finish the fight. And that's why I think Halo 3 is an S tier game. I don't know what else I can say about Halo 3. I think I listed everything. Halo 3 ODST, bro. Halo 3 ODST is gonna go in a solid A tier because of the fact that Halo 3 ODST didn't have a multiplayer. It's an A tier because of its campaign and the firefight. It introduced firefight. Dude, every game was revolutionizing in like a game mode. Have you guys noticed that? Like Halo CE was like the beginning, and Halo 2 more so as like Halo 3 was revolutionizing the creativity in the game modes. That's when they were starting adding game modes and stuff. Or like actual like modes like Forge and Theater, and then Halo 3 ODST added Firefight. So Halo 3 ODST is pretty solid. I love Halo 3 ODST. The music, oh my gosh, bro. Unique jazz, bro. Like all of the Halo music is good, but it's all like choir. But Halo 3 ODST is jazz. Like you can actually put it on in the background and listen and then like go to sleep to it. I know some people could go to sleep to the Halo 3 soundtrack, but Halo ODST is just, it's raining. And then I like the fact that it's an open world game. Like this was open world, if anybody knew. Like Halo 3 ODST, when you play in the new boss, the streets, it's actually open world, and you can actually like, find like the phone calls and the like, I don't know how much stuff you could find. Like I know there's like the audio logs, and you can start campaign missions wherever you go. So it was kind of like you could replay it however you wanted. Halo 3 ODST was good. The character Buck, bro, was introduced. You guys gotta remember Buck was introduced here, bro. Veronica, dog. I don't even know what happened to Veronica after Halo 5. But to go more in depth with New Mamba Street's audio logs, that was the side of what like an average civilian would see during the Covenant invasion of Earth, or just the perspective of a human in general, just like a normal guy, not a Marine, not a soldier, just a person seeing what's happening to Earth. Why is this alien invasion happening? And we got to play as the silent protagonist, the true silent protagonist, the rookie. He literally never says anything besides grunting when he gets hurt, just a little nod when he needs to answer somebody. We got Dutch, Romeo, and Mickey. They were pretty cool characters to cast. The campaign takes place between Halo 2 and Halo 3, which was pretty cool. And it was a different perspective, you know. You were in human shoes, not superhuman shoes. You were tinier, and throwing grenades were harder because, I don't know, like, we're puny and those grenades are heavy. Throw a grenade in Halo 3 ODST and tell me that it's not hard to be accurate with it. Sergeant Johnson was a playable character if you pre-ordered the game, but in Halo MCC you could just play as him if you unlock him, which is pretty cool. You get to smoke a ciggy while fighting Covenant. Also forgot to mention that the silence weapons were added in this game, such as the silence SMG and the silent pistol. The battle rifle was removed, but it's probably because of the fact that they wanted you to use a silence SMG more than the battle rifle, because the battle rifle is superior in every way. It just is. But they got rid of it so you can just use the pistol instead of a battle rifle. And there was only brutes in the campaign because of the civil war that was happening in High Charity. If you walked around in the map while playing the campaign, you could find dead aliens, like dead Sangili elites. That was the reason why we didn't get to fight the elites. The brutes already beat them. They already killed them before we can kill them, so. And they probably would have teamed up with us. They would have been like, they're betraying us, we need your help. But they didn't even get the time to say that. And Vidmaster was a big deal in this one. Vidmaster challenges and firefight, and I think some campaign. I don't know all of them on the top of my head, that's why I put it on the screen. But yeah, Vidmaster challenges, and they were pretty hard, bro. People were going after them, dude. And then when you're in the city of New Mombasa, you could find like mongooses or just like caches around of weapons. It was pretty neat. And engineers were introduced in this part, bro. We got to see the little floating Garys walking around, or floating. They were floating around, bro, providing energy to their fellow comrades, dude. They would give them shields, but they weren't even bad guys, bro. They were enslaved like every other Covenant. And then file share and theater were still in the game, so you could still like share things with people. I think it was like cross play through Halo, like to Halo 3, where you can like file share between Halo 3 ODST and Halo 3 because they're so similar in game. And then there was that mythic disc where you could play Halo 3 maps on multiplayer. You could play with your friends. Pretty sick. And also night vision visor was introduced, which was pretty cool, where you can see enemies in a red outline and weapons and vehicles in a blue outline. And because you weren't a Spartan, you didn't have shields. Make you feel more like an ODST. Yeah, I think that's all I gotta say for Halo 3 ODST, bro. Let's go to Halo Reach, not Halo 4. Halo Reach, this is like the most controversial one because like this is when they added armor abilities attached to you. Halo 3 had armor abilities on the map where you can grab a regenerator. Halo Reach is my favorite campaign as well. The graphics kind of like hindered down because it wasn't like Halo 3 graphics. It was like gritty. It's not that it was bad, but it was like, it was serious. It makes sense that Halo Reach like went to the grittiness, like the armor actually can hold ammo and stuff. Like it was more of a realistic, so I can't really dodge it on that. But I like the Halo 3, like you're just a freaking Spartan with no ammo pockets. You just have ammo like somewhere. You're just a Spartan. You got the ammo. The story was really good. I might have to rearrange these, bro. Oh, the multiplayer. Armor lock was a thing. They fixed it in MCC a little bit. If you throw a grenade at somebody, like the armor lock will like release. Instead of it like old school where you just sat there and just like, took all the explosions. It didn't matter. Firefight was pretty lit. I think the competitive mode was what like kind of killed. The DLC maps were bad. And they were trying to add DLC armor, but I think they were going to know that was going to do bad anyway. Well, microtransaction armor kind of sucked. They did add armor effects to the game and the credit system. I'm like thinking of putting it in S, but I just the custom games in Halo Reach. Actually, we got to think about Forge World. I'm forgetting about Forge World. Forge World is what puts Halo Reach in S. Campaign is phenomenal. Firefight was fun. Multiplayer is okay if there's no armor lock. I will play a Halo Reach multiplayer. I've played it a lot. The infection in this game was the best, and Forge World was the biggest map you could ever freaking play, bro. Like it was like the biggest map in Halo. at the time where you could build anything, and it was literally just like remnants of old maps. So like it would be like an empty space for an old map. Like there was the Hemorrhage area, which was Blood Gulch. I don't know what the island was. There was the pinnacle for or the peninsula. I mean, I forgot that map on Halo 2 and Halo 2 Anniversary. But yeah, you could just do so much on Halo Reach. It just makes Halo Reach goated. That's why you guys got to go in the comments and try to correct me, bro. I just see Halo Reach as an S. I played it all my childhood, so I can't even put it down because like if it was like I can't put it down. Just the Halo Reach campaign in general was awesome. You get to be your own Spartan and Noble team. You get to play as Noble 6, a redacted soldier, alongside with George, Kat, Emil, June, and Carter. You become Noble 6, and you get to wear your own armor, which was pretty cool. And you get to witness the fall of Reach, what happened before Halo CE. You get to see Reach in its glory and see what happened. Like, how did we lose to the Covenant the first time? There was different weapons in the game, like the concussion rifle replaced the brute shot, and the focus rifle replaced the sentinel beam and the beam rifle. There was a whole loadout system in Halo Reach, which was pretty cool because it was still like classic in the way where you could start with the same loadout as the enemy. You still had the same options. File share was popping off because Forge World was popping off, so you could see a lot of Forge maps and custom game modes and file share. You could buy whatever armor you wanted for campaign or custom games. If you rank up, you earn credits, and then you could just buy whatever you wanted, which was pretty sick. Theater mode was still in the game, so you could review your clips or make a machinima. Halo Reach had like service records. Halo Waypoint was big in this game where you had to do certain things like play Halo 3 on Legendary, play Halo 3 ODST on Legendary to earn armor pieces. So it kind of connected the game all together, which was pretty sick, dude. I remember grinding all that just to get the CQB helmet, the final tier. Just one nitpick is that the multiplayer maps in Halo Reach were all campaign orientated maps. So they're basically just copied and pasted all the multiplayer maps or all the campaign maps from multiplayer, which wasn't a bad thing, but it was like Halo Reach was just you were playing on the campaign like levels the entire time until they added the DLC maps, which weren't that good either or weren't well received. But a positive thing about Halo Reach is that they had playable elites, which then led to making invasion game mode where it's Spartan versus alien trying to capture objectives or just Slayer in general. It was pretty cool. Granted, the customizable armor for elites were limited, but we still had them, which was enough. And just having Noble 6 final stand at the end of the game where he's putting all his effort in to fight the Covenant, but it's just not enough. They're relentless. Reach is gonna fall and he dies with Reach, and it was a beautiful ending. It was also like the peak of gaming as well as when Halo Reach was out. Halo 4 is a solid like B to me. I don't mind playing Halo 4. Halo 4 doesn't really bug me. When Halo 4 came out, I played it for like a couple of months, but then Black Ops 2 was out as well, so I gravitated to Black Ops because of the zombies and the multiplayer. So I kind of like gravitated away. Halo 4 had like classes, right? Halo Reach had classes, but it was the game gave you those classes. Halo 4, you can make your classes, give yourself whatever power up you had, and then you also had like power abilities or whatever. You had abilities that you can attach to yourself, like Call of Duty. Halo 4 was Call of Duty, but Halo. It was trying to be 343. We're trying to be Call of Duty in a sci-fi universe. Like, bro, this is when like Halo 4 became fast-paced. Halo Reach was fast-paced, but you didn't have sprint all the time. You only had sprint as an armor ability. But Halo 4, you had the abilities all the time. You could choose whatever one you had and whatever gun. You could spawn with plasma grenades, plasma pistol, whatever assault rifle, whatever battle rifle you want. It kind of got rid of like the flow of Halo where you're supposed to get the power weapons. Not all the way, but like plasma grenades were supposed to be like usually like in Halo 3 you're gonna spawn with a frag grenade, but in this game you could spawn in with any grenade you want with all these abilities. It was still felt like Halo, but I had that Call of Duty feel to it. I'll still play Halo 4. And then the story, I wish they went with more of like Cortana being rampant because she was literally getting like destroyed by the Flood. The Flood could infect AI in the lore. I don't know if there's any retcons in this, but like she's aging, yeah, but she also was like messed up by the Gravemind. They never like talk about the Gravemind messing her up, or what did the Gravemind tell her? What did the Gravemind do? Like, the Gravemind was speaking. So like we're just gonna gloss over like this ancient god thing that was talking to Cortana and torturing her. Like I think she needed therapy. Honestly, she didn't look good. Did we already get all the information we needed from the Gravemind? Like, I mean, I feel like the flood was neglected. Brutes were removed and neglected, but I feel like it's also because there was a splinter group of Covenant that believed the prophets. But then the art design with the grunts looking like Gears of War dudes. Like, I'm not trying to look at the Locust, man. I'm trying to play Halo. I'm not trying to play Gears of War. Why they look like Gears of War characters now? What's up with the scaly skin? They weren't scaly. They were kind of shiny, bro. The Arbiter wasn't. He was a little rough, but he wasn't scaly. He wasn't dinosaur. So, and the art style too. Halo's art style was kind of like plain, but it had some detail to it. But Halo 4 was just gray with too much detail. And then the color of the grass. I didn't even like the color of the grass in Halo 4. Remember when they added those Forge Islands in Halo 4, thinking that they were making Forge World 2.0? Hell no. You just made Forge Islands, dog. And then the grass doesn't even look good. Overall, gameplay is not bad. I can hop into Halo 4, especially on MCCU, if it's in the rotation. I forgot to mention with Halo 4 is that they added like a class system where you could be like a tracker, a pioneer, an engineer, and it was kind of locking all the abilities you can use in the game until you get to max rank. You can get all the abilities. In the past, in MCC, you get access to everything in the class system. And I also glossed over the Prometheans and the Didact. I kind of forgot about them low key. Some of their weapons are cool, but they don't really talk. They kind of just scream at you. They don't have any like memorable moments in Halo 4 besides the Didact. And them changing from blue to orange was pretty sick. I didn't understand it. And then the Covenant worshipping the Didact. But then the Didact's boss fight resulting into like, what is it? An action event, just to like press X to do the action. The Guilty Spark boss fight in Halo 3 wasn't that good, but the Didact boss fight was worse. Why couldn't we fight him like one-on-one, bro? You were hyping it up the whole game in Halo 4. In Halo 3 it wasn't really hyped up. It was kind of like a betrayal, and then we had to kill him. But in Halo 4, you're hyped up to kill this guy, and it results into like a quick time event. I'm not happy with it. And then Cortana ultimately sacrificing herself, leaving my John boy alone and sad. Like, what the hell? And then Commander Lasky has to comfort Master Chief, tell him that soldiers aren't machines, that they're just people, that he's just a person like him. And speaking of Commander Lasky and all other characters introduced in Halo 4, it just felt like these characters were introduced a little too fast. Like El Dorito, the Dorito guy, the guy that asked for the chip because he got so angry about it. And then Spartan Ops were a thing, which were a cool concept of like a mini campaign series, but replacing Firefight ultimately was not the best move. And it was really repetitive the way Spartan Ops was. There's like 10 chapters, and then there's levels within those chapters, making like 20 or 30 levels of Spartan Ops, which was confusing and scary, and so much it just got a lot of people bored. But it was cool to play as your own Spartan, fighting the Covenant and the Forerunners. And speaking of the Prometheans again, the crawlers and the knights and stuff, as an enemy, they shoot tracer bullets. And the shields for the knights were like kind of weird how thin they were and how fast they regenerated. And then those damn watchers freaking pulling out grenades and shielding their buddies and reviving their buddies. Like, get out of here with that. They're not that bad of an enemy to fight, but you know, they're not that interesting. They lack interest. And playable elites not being a thing, like, come on now. You're gonna tell me that I can't play as a freaking scaly locust dinosaur from Gears of War, bro? At least give me the option. And dual wielding was removed in Halo Reach, but it was also removed in Halo 4 as well. Like, why? They even changed the art style of some of my guns, like the plasma rifle. Like, dude, that was an iconic gun. Like, bro, why would you change it? It was iconic. And then the armor design, it just wasn't my style. And then changing the infection mode to like flood mode was a cool concept, but they executed poorly. They didn't give you the option where you can like change yourself to be a Spartan infected or a flood infected. When you're flood, you always have this melee arm instead of having whatever you want, like a gravity hammer. You're just stuck with the flood arm. So it was limited in game modes and stuff, so people got bored of the custom games because how limited they were, just because they wanted the flood to be the main concept of the infection. But then they just messed it up. But other than that, I think Halo 4, that's it, man. Solid B tier. But we're gonna talk about a bad game here. Bad game story wise. All right in the multiplayer. All right, Halo 5. Halo 5 is gonna be. I'm just gonna put it in D. We're gonna talk about it right now, and then I'll make my final judgment right here. I played the campaign once in Halo 5, and I can barely remember most of the stuff that happened. All I can remember is being on like the same. There was no change of environment really in Halo 5. Like there was a few times when you went to Singilios, it was like a weird vibe in the campaign. I just didn't like it. I felt like the characters were too like plain. The revive system was stupid and having this like Gears of War feel to it where like you have to revive your teammate that's down. So it was just a weird one. I played it on Legendary too. I can't say it's a boring game. I could say it's more D for disappointment because like you can have fun playing it. I think this is what stops it from being an F tier game. That the Forge was good, but it came late. I liked the fact that they had a lot of machinima things that you could do in custom games. Like if you were in custom games, you can go and free cam and make a machinima just right there, or you know, record something just right there. You know, you didn't have to go into theater and separate yourself. So it was actually pretty cool when they did that. Oh yeah, the armor. You couldn't change your armor in Halo 5. You could only change your helmet and in your body. And it's not like the body looks any different because like the armor kind of looks the same. Halo 4's armor kind of like blends too much detail blends, you know, less detail, more outline. What's it called? Master Chief running a fade with what's his name? Locke. And almost losing is kind of sad. Like Master Chief, he got more of that augmentation, bro. And the lore, or you know, the lore, because the books, Master Chief is like 8 feet tall. Locke is like 7 feet tall. Master Chief already has the height advantage, and he's a Spartan 4 that became a Spartan when he was an adult. Master Chief was training since 3 or no 6, right? It was like 6 years old. So it's like, how is Locke gonna run a fade with the Master Chief? Like it would have been cooler if it was like Buck, Locke, and everybody like jumping him, and then Master Chief is like karate kicking them and he kicks all their asses, and then he happens to break his visor because he's fighting 4 Spartan 4s and he's 1 Spartan 2. That would have made more sense. But 1 Spartan 4 versus a Spartan 2 that's been training for freaking 30 years of war. Actually, not even training. He's been active in war. He trained for like 5 years, right? I don't know how many, but like he trained, and then he's been in service longer than he's trained. So he's been, and not even that. He has luck. He's skillful in every single thing. He's not the best in anything. Master Chief is skilled in everything, you know. He's just the jack of all trades Spartan. That makes him the best because he knows how to fucking get through everything. So that's why Halo 5's like campaign is just like messed me up, because Master Chief would not, like, Doomslayer would kick his ass. No doubt. Master Chief would get his ass kicked by Doomslayer. But Locke, like, come on. Agent Locke, he should have been just thrown to the curb. The multiplayer, though, in Halo 5 was pretty fun. Warzone was introduced. Warzone Firefight. The pay-to-win game. That was fun, unless somebody was, like, legitimately paying to win. The Halo 5 multiplayer was pretty fun. I only played a little bit of it. I played a bit of Ranked, and then I got out of it. I played like for like a solid like 2 weeks, and then I got out of it, but it was pretty fun. Also with the campaign, Cortana being the antagonist and being like some sort of demigod and having control of everything and knowing everything about the Forerunners. It was kind of weird, bro. Like how she had all control. And in the Warden Eternal boss fight, it was all right. Like I can't say the Warden Eternal boss fight was bad, but I would say it was spammed. Like even in Warzone Firefight, it's spammed. Like he's the only boss. The only boss we were able to get in Halo was the Warden Eternal. He was just spammed. Besides with Halo Infinite. We're talking about current time with this. It was the first boss to like actually like walk around and fight you. I forgot Yap Yap Destroyer. He was pretty cool. And then power-ups were removed, like jetpacks and like regenerators. Like Halo 3 power-ups and Halo Reach power-ups were removed. All you had was sprinting and your thruster pack, which was pretty nice, but it wasn't the same as like the other Halo. So also rec packs in Halo 5 being introduced into the game, giving us microtransactions, the worst thing to ever put in Halo, where you unlock armor from playing the game, but it takes forever because everything is RNG randomized. You might get an armor piece, you might not. And if you want to increase your odds to get more armor pieces, you had to buy more gold, silver, or bronze packs, which could be like $3. And if you just spam that, it could end up like $30, and you can still not get what you wanted, and it would suck. In Warzone, Firefight relied on the rec packs because the weapons in the rec packs were overpowered, and if you were to buy a bunch of rec packs, you would be paying to win in Warzone Firefight because not everybody has a lot of money to be spamming to get some weapons in Halo 5 Warzone. Warzone was a good concept, but what they did with the microtransactions was awful. And PvE is alright, but PvPvE is awful. And I just can't get over the armor unlocks not being via achievements. It should have always been achievements or credit system like Halo Reach, not microtransactions only. And then the advertisement for Hunt the Truth, it didn't make any sense because it did not correlate what happened in the campaign in Halo 5. Hunt the Truth was like Locke and Master Chief were getting into an argument, and one was on the ground and the other one was on the ground, and they had their little speech, and then they were like about to shoot him. But in my head, I was thinking that Master Chief would never shoot another person that was like on the ground, especially after what he's been through in Halo 3, 4. I don't think he would kill another person just out of the blue. So it kind of threw everybody off with the campaign, which made it awful. The good qualities of Halo 5 are custom game browser and Spartan companies were introduced at the time, but they're no longer a thing. But if they were still a thing, they would still be cool. But then they changed the ADS system, the aim down sights, to like more a Call of Duty, Apex Legends kind of feel. Instead of it being toggle on your joystick, it was more LT, and every gun was allowed to be aimed down sight. And then playable elites weren't still a thing, and dual wielding was not still a thing. And they removed split screen, which sucked. In conclusion, Halo 5 is not the worst game of all time. It's the worst game in the franchise, I feel like. Well, there's actually a couple of games on here that should just be an F because, like, why were they even made? Halo 5, for being a game, you can hop on and play it and have fun. I think it's only like a party game with friends at this point. Now we're going to go to Halo Wars. And I've actually beat Halo Wars. Beat the game with my friend on Legendary. And we were trying to get... I've actually like RTS games. So all the people that don't like RTS games are going to be like, F tier because I don't know this game. It's like, bro, this game is actually fun. Okay, Halo Wars was before Halo Reach, bro. It was the freaking Fall of Harvest. Sergeant Forge was in this. Captain Cutter. Anders, the Prophet of Regret was in here. One of the Arbiters that got defeated went in here. That when I was confused about when the Arbiter died in Halo Wars, but it was actually just the past Arbiter that died, dog. And then the new Arbiter came, and I think it was the Arbiter we know as. I think I don't know. I don't know what the before the Arbiter of our Arbiter was, but that confused me. As a Halo game, this is a pretty fun RTS game. It is hardcore as hell. If you play this game on multiplayer, dude, you gotta know a strategy or you gotta lose, bro. I like the fact that there's different vehicles like Grizzly. They introduced more like vehicles that can be inputted into the actual game that we never see. All these Halo Wars vehicles we never freaking see unless you're playing a mod on Halo MCC. Halo Wars, like, it introduces all these like new vehicles. Spartan Jerome, bro, one of the best Spartans ever. He like aura farms in this game, bro. Like, how is one Spartan aura farming this whole game? Like, everybody loves Spartan Jerome. He is a disabled Spartan too, basically. I like Halo Wars 1. Let's see where I should put this. As a Halo game, I'll put it above Halo 4. I'll put it above Halo 4. I like Halo. I like Halo Wars. Compared to the other games, you can't really compare it because it's a whole different type of game. But you can play, like, against an AI for a little bit, but it does get boring after a while because there's not much you can really do after a certain point. It is kind of a limited game. It's not like expansive. It's just its own little thing. So it's a good game. The campaign is pretty good too as well. It's just RTS, so it's not like you're experiencing the game in like action. Cartoon people die on the ground. Ah! And also the Flood was in Halo Wars 1, which was pretty cool. There were like 3 different NPCs that you can fight in the game that like spawned in the game with you, like the Rebels, the Forerunners, and then there was the Flood, which was awesome. Sergeant Forge's sacrifice at the end after killing the Arbiter was pretty epic and sad. You had to blow up the world to save everybody, to kill the Covenant and the Flood. You can unlock skulls and get black boxes, which would give you more stuff in the game. Like the black boxes would give you more intel, the skulls would give you more abilities in the game. And then there was also a couple game modes that you could play in Halo Wars to spice things up, bro. And you got to play as 6 different characters in the game. 3 Covenant characters, 3 UNSC characters. So I count this as playable elites, bro. Halo Wars had playable elites as well, which was epic. Each character you played at had a unique vibe with a different ability. Sergeant Forge with his carpet bomb, and Prophet of Regret with his laser from the sky, the Dawn from Gears of War. You know what? Scratch what I said about Halo Wars being limited. There was a ranking system in the game. It was really hard to rank up in that game though because of the sweats. And they offered achievements and challenges in the campaign, and the game ran smooth as an RTS. So Halo Wars, the pretty cool game. And Halo Wars 1 was forced. Like they were forced to make this. Whoever Ensemble Studios were forced. They wanted to make a different game that was resembling the Halo Wars, but Microsoft wanted to make it Halo related. So this game was literally not even supposed to be made, but Microsoft made them. And Halo Wars 2. And it's kind of the same vibe, but I like Halo Wars 1 more. The story in Halo Wars 2 is better than Halo Wars 1. We can all say that, bro. Halo Wars 1, Halo 2, whatever story is better. But Halo Wars 2, it just has obviously better quality when it comes to their rendered scenes. We gotta think about it. Halo Wars 1 scenes versus Halo Wars 2 scenes. Halo Wars 1 where they're like on the bridge fighting the freaking elites, bro, and then they're like tossing them off the bridge. Or when one of our Spartans getting their ass destroyed by Atriox himself and crushes his helmet and is like, of course a human is here. Like, I feel like that hits harder in Halo Wars 2. They changed some things that I didn't like they changed, but it does hit good. Halo Wars 1 is for like the hardcore people. If you want to play a hardcore Halo Wars or a Halo RTS game, go ahead, that's your game. But Halo Wars is a little bit more casual, and there's a bit more game modes in it, and there's more characters in it. But there's something about Halo Wars 2 that hits less. I think it's they changed the progression in the game. And I like the progression when you're playing a game in Halo Wars 1 more than Halo Wars 2. But they're both basically the same thing, just a little bit different. But to get into more of the story of like Atriox being introduced as the main antagonist was pretty cool. Of like the Banished being introduced as this new main antagonist, it kind of felt forced because the Banished aren't the Covenant. They are split off from the Covenant. I don't think they really believe what the Covenant believe. They're just their own thing. But it was pretty cool. Isabel was introduced and she warned us about her. Atriox being like, it's him. Don't go in that room. And we go in that room anyway and get our asses kicked. It was pretty cool though. The entire Spirit of Fire coming back 30 years later in the story, thinking that they were all dead or just lost to space. But no, they were just there sleeping for 30 years. The Covenant didn't even find them. No UNSC found them. They're just there, which is alright. And then the ending with Professor Anders and Halo 5 cliffhanger and Halo Wars 2 cliffhanger. Professor Anders seeing what Cortana was doing when she was summoning the Guardian to the ring, and then Professor Anders made the ring, and she was in Sleep Space, and she was like, why is Sleep Space stopping? And it was just weird. It was cool, mysterious, and fun. It kind of fixed Halo 5's story a little bit there with Halo Wars 2 cliffhanger. And then they had some DLC campaigns with like Operation Spirit Breakers, Spring Breaker, I don't know what it's called. That one's the least popular one, but it's pretty cool. I mean, if you want to get it, that's pretty nice. You can play more Halo Wars campaign, like default campaign. And then there was Awakening the Nightmare, which was the beastie DLC, bro, where they reintroduced the Flood in Halo Wars 2, which gives me hope that Flood will be still in the games, in the future games. It's sad that it wasn't Halo Infinite, bro, but the Flood being in Halo Wars 2 was epic. You can fight them. They seemed like a genuine threat. We were like panicking, bro, when you're playing that DLC. And then the art style for Halo Wars 2, like reverted it back to like the older like Halo 3 art style, Halo 2 art style, which was epic. I like the grunts looking like grunts, not freaking dinosaurs, bro. What kills me with Halo Wars is the microtransactions, though. They had like blitz packs, so if you play blitz PvP, bro, you're going to get dogged on if you're not willing to spend some money or grind hella games of Halo Wars. But base Halo Wars is awesome. If you're playing Blitz Firefight, epic, bro. That game mode is epic. Card game in Halo Wars is not too bad, bro. I mean, you can collect cards in Halo Wars and level them up like Clash Royale, and then play Blitz Firefight. Pretty epic, though. I don't find it as bad, but the microtransactions is what kills me. You can grind the game and get the blitz packs, but you can spend a lot of money and then be really good at the game, or quote unquote really good. And then there was a lot of characters that you can buy in the store, which was pretty cool, but I felt like it was just a lot of characters that you could buy. I wish they would have just made it into a bundle, unless they did, and I just never seen it. Each character cost like $3, I believe. I don't know, I didn't really look into it. I just know that they cost some money. They were cool concept of like Sergeant Johnson, you can play as them, but like it's just a lot of DLC. 2 campaign DLC, blitz pack microtransactions, and then a lot of character DLC. That's like a $100 plus, bro. But overall, Halo Wars gameplay and story and art style is pretty cool. The one thing that I don't like they changed is that the freaking generators, instead of it being a tier unlocking tier based thing, they changed it to a currency. So before in Halo Wars 1, you can get the Prophet of Regret, get them to snipe out a generator, and then that person couldn't make tanks. But in this one, you have to take out the whole person's base so they can't make a tank, or take out their supply of tanks, which changed the gameplay a lot. You could upgrade your characters to like more health and stuff. There was a lot of stuff in gameplay wise that changed, but it wasn't bad. It's just different, and I like Halo Wars 1 more because I like the gameplay dynamic more in Halo Wars 1, which puts Halo Wars 1 more than Halo Wars 2 because they changed that one factor of the gameplay. But overall, Halo Wars 2, good game. And then now we got these shitty games down here. Halo Spartan Assault. I beat Spartan Assault. I've never played it again because I don't think it's multiplayer. I think it was multiplayer, but it was just a couple of campaign missions, like 8 campaign missions or something, and it didn't really give you that feeling of like, oh my gosh. And it plays as like one of the least liked characters in Halo. It's like a Halo 4 character, Palmer, so like it's not really much of attachment into it. I mean, it's a cool game and all, like it's cool that it's there, but no one's playing Spartan Assault, bro. And I think Spartan Strike is even worse. They made Spartan Strike thinking that they're gonna do better. And these are, I think they're mobile games, right? But it was on Xbox 360 and an Xbox One. Like out of all these Halo games, they're not that good. I've only played Spartan Assault and I never bothered to play Spartan Strike, but I probably know what it feels like. It probably changed it a little bit. I tried to get all the achievements in Spartan Strike or Assault. That's one thing I tried to do. I tried to get them all, but I never completed it because I was like, nah. So I just played both games for B-roll footage, and they are basically the same. Spartan Assault is about Commander Palmer, and Roland tells you about like what's happening with Commander Palmer. Some dude dies at the end from like some Forerunner structure. The game's just a top-down shooter where you use your joystick to shoot. Not joystick, but you like spin around. It's like Call of Duty Dead Ops Arcade, if you guys remember that. It's basically that for Halo. There is a co-op, but I couldn't find nobody for it. And you can get skulls, and there's challenges in the game. Same thing with Strike. Strike is just about a Spartan going into simulations. That's all about the stories. You go into different simulations and you're fighting in different parts of this timeline of Halo story, like the most crucial parts. Just compared to the other Halo games, these games are whack compared to the other Halo games. There's not much expansion. It's just their little thing. But Halo Wars, to me, is better than these games, Spartan Strike and Assault, because you know, there's more strategy in Halo Wars. I don't know, they're on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, they're free if you want to play them on there. But other than that, like, yeah, I wouldn't pay to buy these games. So they belong in the F tier. And also, Spartan Strike is exclusive to PC, so you can't even play it on the Xbox, which was a weird decision, but I guess that's what 343 wanted. Halo Fireteam Raven. This is gonna be another F tier because I wanted to get the nameplate right. Then there's an exclusive nameplate in MCC for Fireteam Raven, and I couldn't get it, bro. I don't know if I did it wrong, but they made that shit complicated. And the game itself, like, it's cool that you get to see Halo in an arcade machine. If you guys don't know, Halo is an arcade machine. This is the arcade machine. I mean, it's fun to like feel like you're playing like Halo in an arcade, but there's much better games that you can, the more like run and shooting games. It was kind of unfair actually. The Banshees in that game like would like swoop down, and you could like, there was bullet drop and stuff in the game. In an arcade game there's bullet drop, and it's like the bullets are flying past. It's like so hard to like shoot them. So it's kind of inconsistent when you play it, but it is a good 4-player game in an arcade, and you can't take it home either. So you only experience it like only when you're at the arcade, which kind of like hinders it when it's already at F at the bottom. I'll tell you right now, I had a better time playing Halo Fireteam Raven over Halo Spartan Assault because I made memories with my friends. But that nameplate, I couldn't get it, bro. I couldn't get the nameplate. I took a picture of the barcode that was on there. If you guys don't know what nameplate, I'll probably show it up on the freaking screen, bro. But there's a nameplate that you can get, and I wanted to get it because I want to look cool on the freaking game, and I couldn't get it, man. One thing with Halo Fireteam Raven is that they introduced like these soldiers, like these characters in Halo Fireteam Raven that we never like know about. Like they're kind of introduced in Halo MCC in like their own season. There's like a catalog in Halo MCC where you can see them. I don't even remember their names. I just know that they were a specific color ODSTs that were like there during the fall of the Pillar of Autumn when we went to Halo. I mean, I know it's because like they weren't even thought of in Halo CE at the time. This was just like, make a game for an arcade. Now that those characters are introduced, at least like let's have something with them. Make a game about them that's not Halo Fireteam Raven. Arcade machine, make a Halo Fireteam Raven video game on the Xbox so we can know those characters. You introduced them, so it'd be pretty cool. I actually just found out that Halo Fireteam Raven died at the end because I never finished the game myself. So if they were to make a game, it would have to be a prequel of Halo CE or Halo Fireteam Raven remade to a normal game on the Xbox or on the PC. So they can't be in the future games, but they can be in the past. So if they were to make a game about Halo Fireteam Raven, they're still there. So my point still stands. There would just have to be a prequel, which would be cool. All right, dude. We're with the anniversary game right here. Halo CE Anniversary. It's its own game. It's the whole campaign of Halo CE with some Halo Reach maps. And I'll give it a C, bro. The remaster of Halo CE wasn't that good. It was just bad, bro, to play Halo CE remastered, like with the remastered graphics, because not everything was aligned with how everything looked. Like in Halo CE, there would be like a bigger rock, and then Halo Reach would make it like a little bit slimmer, so you can like walk on that rock, and it looked like you're walking on air, like you're floating. Or you would hit a wall, and it would be an invisible wall because of the fact that the graphics changed. And it's because 343 didn't care to like make it 1-to-1, bro. They just made it the way they made it. But Halo CE being re-released was pretty cool. Like you could play the Halo CE campaign again. I don't know if it was multiplayer, but you could play it again. So it was backwards compatible. And then you had Halo Reach with it. And it wasn't even the full Halo Reach. It was just the DLC map. So like, why even play that Halo Reach? Barely half of Halo Reach. I think Halo 3 did that with Halo 3 ODST with the Mythic disc. But I think you got all the multiplayer maps on that Mythic disc. So Halo CE, I'm going to put in C. I mean, it didn't really change much. It was just a remaster. And the remaster was really that good. But it is Halo CE, so. One thing with Halo CE Remastered is that they didn't even add the classic custom games and make them multiplayer. They just gave you Halo Reach multiplayer, but limited Halo Reach. So it just was like stupid. If they would have made it where Halo CE had its like own thing, like the custom games are its own thing, and it had the remastered graphics in there, and you could play with your boys in Halo CE custom games in the Halo CE Remastered, it would have definitely been better. But they didn't do that. They just gave you Halo CE and didn't even give you all the maps from Halo CE, the original game. They just gave you some, so it was kind of lackluster. One last thing about Halo CE's graphics is that the lighting changes in the missions where you're supposed to feel fear. In 343 Guilty Spark, the lighting changes in the forest where it's supposed to be dark and foggy and rainy, but in the remastered version it's not really that foggy. It's more bright lit, like the trees are lighting up the environment, but in the OG the trees aren't lighting up the environment, so it changes the feeling of what you're supposed to feel when you're entering the forest where you're supposed to be introduced to the flood and 343 Guilty Spark. It feels like you're in a lively jungle, not in a deadly swamp. It's not supposed to be like lively. It's supposed to be deadly. And then when you enter the building, the environment changes. When you're in the OG, you can see blood splatter on the walls. You can see things dripping from the ceiling more. And it's like landing on the floor and it's actually leaving an imprint where you can actually see like this green liquid and you're like, what is this green liquid that's falling from the ceiling? But in the remastered graphics, unless you already know that it's a really leaky ceiling, you're not going to notice it. If you're new to the game and you're just playing remastered, you're not going to feel the fear. You're not going to know that there's something wrong. The lights flickering on the walls are different. They're not as violent. Like the red lights on the wall are less, you can barely see the emergency. In the OG version, you can see the emergency, like what is going on? Blood splatter on the walls. And in the remastered version, you barely even need your flashlight because of the fact that it's so bright and the gamma's turned straight up and you can't do anything about it, bro. So the flashlight is a useless tool in the remastered version because you can already see everything. I will give credit to Halo CE with the graphics because it didn't butcher it too much, where it did look like Halo. Like it didn't have like ugly elites, it didn't have ugly grunts, it didn't have ugly environments. It just wasn't one-to-one. Like Master Chief really wasn't one-to-one, with his visor looking more pale, less gold, and the environment just not being one-to-one. But other than that, Halo CE is a C tier because it doesn't really butcher the art style. Also, Halo CE did add terminals in the remastered version and skulls in the remastered version, which was pretty cool. And then right now we got Halo MCC. And I know that you guys are going to be like, it's not even its own game, bro. It's not even, it's a collaboration of all games. Halo 2 Anniversary was released on Halo MCC. So the remaster of Halo 2 and Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer was released on Halo MCC, which makes its own game. Plus, you get all the games. So we have to put in S. When it first came out, though, Halo MCC was terrible, but now, I mean, it's not that popular. There's like 8,000 players playing it on a given basis, but MCC is going to be S because it's a collaboration and it released Halo 2 Anniversary. And have you seen Halo 2 Anniversary scenes, bro? Those scenes are so beautiful. Like, if they were to make every game look like Halo 2 Anniversary, bro, I would love them, bro. The way that Halo 2 Anniversary looked. Not the multiplayer, the game, the campaign itself. If they were to make Halo 2 Anniversary look like that, bro, I'm buying it, bro. And I want to get into the Halo 2 multiplayer a little bit more. It was a fun multiplayer. Like, the gameplay is fun. The gunfights are fun. It feels like you're playing Halo 3 on Halo 2 maps a little bit, which is a pretty cool thing. Like, it feels like Halo. But the only thing that throws me off is that in Halo 2 Anniversary, the graphics look like Halo 4 graphics instead of Halo 2 graphics. You play the campaign on Halo 2, it looks beautiful. And then you go into the Halo 2 Anniversary, it's like, what just happened, bro? It's kind of uncanny how it like switches like that. But other than that, like, Halo 2 Anniversary is a pretty fun game. I think they gave up on Halo 2 Anniversary because they didn't even add all the multiplayer maps from Halo 2 Classic to Halo 2 Anniversary. There's only 7 maps, so it's kind of limited in that way, but the Forge is pretty cool. If you play Halo 4 and then Halo 2 Anniversary, they look very similar, just different lighting. But other than that, they kind of look the same, and that's the only thing that bothers me with Halo 2 Anniversary. Also, on the remastered maps, they did change things, like added dynamics where you could put up a shield in the middle of the map to protect your teammates or to provide cover in the middle. And then in Bloodline, the remaster of Blood Gulch, they added like an EMP thing where you can EMP all the vehicles and I think maybe shields. It was to help the stop with the bombardment, like vehicles just like surrounding your base, so it kind of like eased up a little bit. It was a pretty cool addition to Halo 2 Anniversary. To get into more of Halo MCC, they added achievements and leaderboards. They added a bunch of achievements in Halo MCC, like about 700. That's either an achievement hunter's dream or nightmare, bro. It's pretty fun to have all those achievements, and there's always something to do in Halo MCC. There's also leaderboards where you can like compete with other people if you really care about like beating the campaign under a certain time or getting a certain score, adding more skulls and the difficulty and getting a better score in a mission. It's pretty cool, dude. And then you can see how many medals you have in all of Halo, like all the collective of Halo. Like I have 8 perfections, bro. I have that recorded in my medals catalog, which is pretty cool. The only thing about Halo MCC is that the Halos are emulated, so they are 99% like similar, but there are some things that are off in every single Halo and MCC. You don't even notice it, so it's basically you're playing Halo 3, you feel like you're playing Halo 3, which is just an emulated version of Halo 3, but it's still Halo 3. You can't tell the difference. Halo MCC also did add campaign playlists where you can play missions in a different way. There's cross campaign playlists and then there's regular campaign playlists. And Halo MCC did add a bunch of like custom armor, like in the catalog, where you can customize your Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo Reach Spartan with new armor, like new entire armor. They added weapon skins and vehicle skins for certain Halos. The only Halo they neglected was Halo 2 for some reason. Halo 2 Anniversary got some stuff, but Halo 2 did not get anything basically. Every game has a new thing, like new content besides Halo 2 and in Halo 3 ODST. But yeah, they slept on Halo 2. They need to come back and update it for Halo 2. At least they gave us Halo 2 Anniversary playable elites. That's one thing that was really good. But yeah, Halo MCC, it has so much stuff in the game, so many things to do. It has Halo 2 Anniversary. That's why I think it should be in the S tier, because it's just everything you can play. I literally recorded this video using Halo MCC to have easy access to all the Halos at my fingertips, so you can't argue Halo MCC is not an S tier game. Also, Halo MCC had different mods you can download on the PC. If you go on the Steam Workshop, you could download all these mods that people have made for the game, giving it more longevity. Only problem is that there's no mods on Halo MCC on the Xbox or on any consoles. They need to add that. But other than that, Halo MCC mods are really awesome. The custom game browser and the Forge was updated, so you can add more like things like Halo Reach. You can add the Seraph. Halo 3, you can have elephants, and the budget is increased hella ton. So the creativity in Halo has risen. It's risen up to a higher standard. The only thing I have a problem with on Halo MCC is that you can't save clips on the game, where you used to be able to save clips on Halo 3. You can't save clips like theater clips or images. That's the only thing that sucks about Halo MCC. Other than that, Halo MCC is a really fun place to play all the Halo games. S tier. If you guys want to see me like anytime playing like any game, bro, like MCC is one of the games you might see me on because I play it all the time. All right, but now we have Halo Infinite, and I played it when it first came out and like the beta test and everything, and I found it a really fun game. It had a feeling. It was fun, but it felt hollow. It was like reading a book full of empty pages at one point. Like you only had one game mode. But now, like if I were to go play Halo Infinite, I'd probably have a fun time. The ranking system, it probably sucks still. It's better than Halo 5. The campaign, they went back to the good graphics. Like the armor in this game is really cool. But the thing is that they added armor cores and battle passes and stuff to this game. And Halo 5 did worse because they added microtransactions fully. This is like a little less because every game wants to be a game that lasts 10 years, bro. Instead of making new games every now and then, like every 2 years make a new game, they just want to have a game that lasts a long time, but they fail every time. It feels like every game industry wants to make a game and send it out broken, and then when it's like finished is like a year after release, and it's stupid because your peak players are gonna be when the game releases. So it's like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you shoot yourself in the foot not adding Slayer to the game? Now though, you have fun. I'm gonna put Halo Infinite in top of B tier. I also want to dig deeper into the campaign because it came out a little bit later, and I only played it like once. I think it was a pretty good campaign. It was an open world game where you can like pick your objectives on the map. You pick up your TAC map and you can like pick the fob and then save Marines, or you can find like a hunted down enemy, get their weapon and have it at your fob. It was pretty cool. You had like infinite weapons at your disposal. And then you can upgrade your character, or Master Chief your character, like different abilities in the game, like your grapple hook or bubble shield thing, your drop shield. shield, all those things, you can like upgrade them, and your like base shield. It was pretty cool that they introduced like a tier level thing in Halo. In the campaign, it revolves around like the Endless and the Banished, which I didn't really understand the Endless. I mean, it's because I only played the campaign a little bit and watched some cutscenes, but they're there and they're like a main antagonist, and the Banished are trying to like help them like rebuild the ring or whatever, which is not a bad like storyline. I just get a little confused because like what happened after Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2, like the Spirit of Fire, Agent Locke and his team, and then Blue Team, our team, like what happened to them? How did our armor change? Like who gave us new armor? I don't know, there's a lot of questions that are unanswered, I feel like, in Halo Infinite. It doesn't take place directly after what happened in Halo Wars 2 and Halo 5, which is weird, but the game does explain it to you a little bit in the campaign. Like it's like at the aftermath of the ring blowing up, finding out like Cortana died kind of like off screen, not totally, like we get like a little bit of closure with her, and we have this new AI called the Weapon, and she's just a direct copy of Cortana that literally just has a memory wipe. Echo 216 saved us in the space, bro. Dude, he saved us in space, which was a pretty cool baller thing. He was introduced, but he was more of like a dance mill in distress more than like a Sergeant Johnson kind of guy. Like he wasn't a hype guy. He was like, I want to go home kind of guy. I don't know, these are like nitpicks with the campaign. You know, these are like objective, but the campaign wasn't bad. It looked beautiful. There was just no different biomes in the game, but that's because the Flood wasn't in the game. Even though they were introduced in Halo Wars 2, they weren't in Halo Infinite for some reason. Did we exterminate them all in Halo Wars 2? I mean, I guess so. But that's why there's no Arctic biomes, because the reason why the ring would change to an Arctic biome is because the Flood. And it's also broken. The ring is broken, so there's that as well. But the open world aspect where you could like drive around with your friends and play Halo Infinite in like a giant landscape is not a bad concept, but it came too late, and there's no split screen co-op on it, I believe. I think you have to like download a mod, or there was like a modded way to do it. It just sucks in that department. Also, I thought there was a lot of cool boss fights in Halo Infinite, like Ashram and the Harbinger, and many more. There was a lot of boss fights in Halo Infinite if you played it, more than Halo 5. Like they corrected it in Halo 5. Instead of spamming one boss, they spammed different types of bosses. There is a lot of things to do now in Halo Infinite because they just kept updating it. So there is like Firefight, custom game browser with Forge, and Forge is like beautiful. Like you can make like any map you want, like Super Mario Kart, bro. It doesn't even matter. Your imagination is the limit, bro, when it comes to Halo Infinite Forge, because there's like scripting and all this type of stuff that I don't even understand how to do. So smart people out there know how to make this shit happen, bro, and it's really cool. I like learned how to like zoom things in and out. Like you can make objects bigger or smaller. Like it's insane, bro. And then custom games browser is just so fun because of Forge. Like I was like playing some custom games, and it's just like, oh my gosh, bro, like these maps are crazy. I'm in a freaking medieval castle, bro, playing sniper battles, and someone made this. And then it transfers into the multiplayer. Like there's this Halo 3 event that like has like Forge assets that are literally rebuilding the old maps. They don't even need to have DLC because people could just rebuild the maps. And I think people get kind of mad at that because they don't make new maps, but it's like there's no point because the community makes so many maps. It's like if the developers find a map in the like pool of maps that are being made and they think it's cool, they could just like spotlight that one. So I mean, it's like a pro and con, give or take kind of thing. I think the main thing that like hurts Halo Infinite is its microtransactions and the battle passes, because the microtransactions are so expensive, and it hinders the fact that you have to like unlock armor through a paywall instead of like playing the game. Like the battle passes played in the game, like yeah, you get like armor through that, but like you don't generally get armor through achievements unless like you're playing campaign and you find armor pieces on the map. And I think they do have like a currency where you could buy stuff, like that new Hayabusa armor. That's really cool. The new Halo 3 stuff, you could buy the haunted helmet from Halo Reach from like playing the game. Like there is a couple things you can earn just from playing the game. It's still like, it's a lot, bro. And then the weapons in Halo Infinite, like I wish they would have brought back the old classic weapons. Like I know the Needler's in the game, but like the plasma rifle is replaced by the pulse rifle or like the pulse carbine. And the plasma pistol's charge up ability was replaced by the disruptor and the shock rifle, where the EMP like thing is activated through those weapons instead of the plasma pistol. So like the plasma pistol is only like a gun where you could just noob combo. Actually, I went back on Halo Infinite and they fixed the plasma pistol. When it first came out, it didn't have the EMP feature, but now it does have the EMP feature. I'm sure of it. I remember using the plasma pistol and it did not EMP. And if it did, let me know in the comments. And they just like added new weapons. And I can't say that those new weapons are bad. I think the new weapons are interesting. I just want my classic weapons back. Like I don't want like these new weapons only. I want the classic weapons from Halo, like the original Halo, back into this Halo. Like it would be cool. Like I know they're adding like a gravity hammer shotgun. That was a pretty cool weapon, but can you please just like it's so easy to just add like a plasma rifle that just does more damage to shields and less damage to health. Like come on, man. That's just a nitpick for me. The art style in Halo Infinite is just beautiful. The armor core is kind of just like disrupt me because you can't like, I think they fixed it a little bit where you can change your armor, different armor, but still like you can't change your own colors, and that is a real hindrance of why I don't like Halo Infinite. You can change your colors, but it's like Destiny with the shaders, bro. Like this is not Destiny, this is Halo. We always had a color palette. You should have just give us color wheel and a color palette and then added those shaders, or chromas I think that they're called, into the game. Like you could have had them intertwined, because chromas are like full on skins. Like you got shiny stuff and all these different like wrapper looks. Maybe sell like wrappers on the armor, and then we could change the armor wrapper color or the neon color that we can have. Like maybe add that instead of having it just like you pick this color and you're that color. You can't change your secondary, third. You're just primary pink, bro. That's it. It's just an incentive to buy more microtransactions so you could buy colors. It's like, dude, why? We're not Destiny 2 right now, okay? Also, Halo Infinite's microtransactions aren't as bad as Halo 5's, where it was RNG based and getting armor was RNG based. That was one good thing about these microtransactions, where it's guaranteed you get that armor. It's $20, but at least you get it instead of $20 into RNG based things. So that's one good thing about the microtransactions in Halo Infinite. And then the ranking system in Halo Infinite, it was bad at the beginning, but now I feel like it's just like you play a game and then you get XP and you get your challenges done, and they replace themselves. I think there's like 12 or something that come up. So you can rank up in Halo Infinite and it's pretty good. Before you couldn't. There's just a lot of beforehands of Halo Infinite and the microtransactions that mess it up. So it should just be on the top of B tier. This game would be at A tier at least, bro. Like A tier, top of A tier, if it was better when it came out originally. At least come out with like the main things, like Forge. Would have came out with Forge at the beginning, we would have had it locked down. Community would have had it locked down for you if it would have came out at the beginning, and multiple game modes. That's all you needed, really. But they did it, and now this game is B tier. And then one more thing with Halo Infinite is just the power abilities, where you have like the grapple and the drop shield, and then the sci-fi gas cloud and the detector. Like all those things, like they're cool, but they don't match the Halo 3 and the Halo Reach armor abilities, bro. Like the Halo 3 armor abilities, where you could just throw down an EMP and it's just like that shit's crazy. And then Halo Reach, like you could have a jetpack and armor lock. Like I'm not saying that armor lock should be back in the game, but I'm saying that these armor abilities suck compared to the other Halo ones, bro. The grapple hook is like one of the only ones that are really cool, because like you can actually do stuff with it. But like the drop shield, like it's so weak compared to the old bubble shield. I just wish they would have added it back. Like it was an iconic thing, such as the weapons that they removed from the game. The power abilities were just kind of lackluster to me. Even when they added new ones, they were like kind of just not like cool as the older ones in Halo 3 and Halo Reach. So that's pretty much what I gotta say with that. And I think that's all I could say about Halo Infinite. There's so much in the game, and I don't play it as often as the other Halos, so I hope I did my best. I hope I did my best. I hope I did good. Now we have reached the conclusion of the tier list. We're gonna see if we need to change anything, if we need to move anything, if I have any different opinions after editing and rewatching the video and playing the games over again. Let's see if I have any differing opinions. Most of the games I see are in the right spot. I know I have Halo 2 Anniversary here. I was gonna talk about it right quick. Halo 2 Anniversary, like if you want to count the multiplayer as its own game, and like how I counted Halo CE Anniversary, I'd probably put it at like above Halo 2 or Halo 4, I mean, because the Halo 2 Anniversary didn't come out with all the maps, and it kind of shared a lot with Halo 4, but it had its own multiplayer, and it was better than Halo CE sharing Halo Reach. Like literally, you play Halo Reach to play the custom games CE. So at least you had your a new Halo, and it was remastered too. It just sucks because it didn't have all the maps. But you still had Halo 2 Anniversary, so I'm gonna put it right there. And then Halo 2 and Halo CE are not really on the par of Halo 3 and Halo Reach because how innovative Halo 3 and Halo Reach are, but that's because those were the beginning games. I feel like the impact of Halo CE is just goated. And then Halo 2's impact, even though I have like a little problem with the multiplayer, I still like the campaign and I still like appreciate the multiplayer. It's just really hard for me. So I put it in S tier. Maybe I'll put it in A tier. Like for me personally, I'll probably put Halo 2 in A tier. But the multiplayer, adding it like during that time of them adding multiplayer and innovating Xbox Live, it literally just like you can't beat it, because then Halo 3 wouldn't have been made the way it's made, and Halo Reach wouldn't have been made. So that's what makes like these top games the best. And then MCC has all four of these games plus this B tier game, and then plus this game. So MCC is just on the top because of the fact that it has all these games. They're just emulated versions. They're not like the true versions of their game, but they are so like 99% close that you don't really tell the difference. Halo 3 ODST, obviously, it was a really good game. Shared Halo 3 assets. There was no really any problem with Halo 3 ODST. It's just it came out with just the campaign and cooperative multiplayer. It didn't come out with PvP multiplayer. It would have been baller if Halo 3 ODST multiplayer, like PvP, would have been like added to MCC. Like it would have been, you just need to add ODSTs to multiplayer. So that would have been cool if they would have done that. MCC, they didn't. So that's the only reason why Halo 3 ODST is an A tier. It's a goated game. The music like is so good. That's what puts it there. Halo Infinite, I'd probably put it in A tier, possibly on the S tier if it came out with the key stuff like Forge and campaign and split screen. If it would have came out with that ranking system, more than unlocking from a battle pass, this game would be like probably here or here. Like most likely it would be an A tier game, but now it's a B tier game because now like you play it, like yeah, it has all those features, but when you go back in your brain in the past, you're like, but this shit came out like this in the beginning. So you're like, wow, this is stupid. And then Halo Wars games are not true like Halo games because they're not like first person games. They are RTS, but I still appreciate them for what they are. I like them a lot, but I don't play Halo Wars every single day. I play Halo more than Halo Wars. They're their own game and they're beautiful for the way they are. They're not nothing bad with them. They're just not Halo games, not true Halo games. And then Halo 4 campaign kind of threw me off because there's no flood, and Rampancy wasn't called, like, I know it's like aging, but also like what happened to her in the freaking Halo 2 to Halo 3, like she was getting tortured and then she's fine. Art style changes sucked. The flood being the only infection form, and you can't even change its arm. The flood in the campaign literally hold rocket launchers. How come I can't hold a gravity hammer and be Fat Kid in Halo 4? That's why Halo 4 is in B tier. It could go lower, but I'm mad about that. I'm mad about that, bro. And then Halo CE doesn't have its own multiplayer compared to Halo 2 Anniversary. It just shares with Halo Reach. If you remember, Halo Reach had its own disc for Halo CE Anniversary, and you could play those maps, like the freaking custom game maps on them, but it was on Halo Reach, and it was confusing because you had to play two different games to play it. And then the game wasn't 1-to-1. It wasn't 1-to-1. Remastered wasn't bad, it just was not 1-to-1, so you would just be like confused when you're hitting walls. And that's it. It's not that bad of a remaster. It was 343's practice run. This is their first game that they came out with, and they were trying their hardest to prove that they can make a game. Same thing with Halo Reach. They both are games made by 343, but like they had help. They had help because Bungie made CE, and then Bungie helped make Halo Reach. And then Halo 5, misleading, came out with late features like Forge, no split screen, RNG microtransactions, especially for the armor. You can't change your armor to the extent of other games. The game is essentially pay to win. There's so many things. There are positive things about Halo 5 that keep it from F. It just doesn't feel right. Like, there's no abilities really in the game besides thruster and maybe invisibility and overshield that I see, but there's nothing really in the game that, like, it just feels like you're playing like a movement shooter and it doesn't feel like you're playing Halo. That's what I have a problem with, and it's misleading with the campaign, like the truth lies. I don't think Master Chief would just kill a person on the ground. Like, if he's on the ground and he's disarmed, I don't think Master Chief is evil, or like he didn't kill the Arbiter. We see it in Halo freaking Infinite that he appreciates Escharum. Like, he literally lays him down on the ground after he dies. I know that part about Halo Infinite. So I don't see I don't see Master Chief ever doing something like that. Like, he only fights when he needs to. He doesn't kill people if they are like disarmed. All right, especially when he's that age. Like, when the ODSTs in the book like messed with him and he beat them up, he didn't even understand the strength he had at that time, and he killed like ODSTs. But now, like, he would not do that. Fight me in the comments. And then obviously these games suck. Freaking Halo Spartan Assault, Halo Spartan Strike, and Halo Fireteam Raven. They're not necessarily bad, but like, why would you play these Halo games over these Halo games? Like, these could rival like other things, like probably like other games that look like it, that emulate that version. You know, there's a lot of games in the arcade and Halo Fireteam Raven. There's a lot of games in the mobile that are probably shooting, but it's not really that interesting. Like, it doesn't captivate you like a Palmer as a person, and then whoever this guy, you, I guess, the entire Fireteam Raven. They're not really that, like, I wouldn't say interesting, but people don't really care for them that much. So I think that's all the thoughts I have for Halo, the entire franchise. I know there's a lot of fan games out there. Like, I've seen Spartan Runner, Halo games that are made with Unreal Engine 5, and then there's a lot of mods and stuff in Halo MCC itself. If you guys want me to talk about those, or like see any of those things, like rate them in a tier list or whatever, I could do that as well. I'm just doing like basic vanilla Halo right now, because I was thinking like Spartan Runner looks like a Halo game, but then it's not made by Halo, so I was like, okay, so I don't know if I want to add this in. So I was like starting to like think about that. Anyways, if you guys rival my opinions with this tier list, please leave it in the comments. And if I missed anything about Halo, the entire franchise, of this tier list, like look in the chapters and see if I missed anything of any of the Halos, leave it in the comments. And if you guys want me to do anything else, like suggestions, leave it in the comments. I would appreciate it very much. And if you subscribe, like, and comment, dude, you're baller. You're helping me out, bro. So I would appreciate that so much. From a small creator with 490 subscribers, we're about to hit 500 subscribers, bro. So if you guys like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I think this is the end of my conclusive thoughts of Halo, the entire tier list. And I thank you guys for watching this entire video, this long video that I worked on for a long time. Even though it probably shouldn't have taken that long, it took me forever. So I appreciate it so much. I'll see you guys later. Peace.